Most Americans over 50 take at least one prescription medication, and many take several. The cost can feel relentless, especially on a fixed income. But the people who pay the least are not necessarily the wealthiest or the best insured. They are simply the most informed. This is what smart seniors know about prescription costs that everyone else seems to miss. And if practical money-saving guidance for life after 50 interests you, consider subscribing so you never miss a video like this. Start with the pharmacy itself, because the same pill can carry wildly different price tags depending on where you fill it. A medication that costs $40 at one chain might cost $12 at the warehouse club down the road and $7 at an independent pharmacy across town. Pharmacies negotiate their own contracts with wholesalers and pharmacy benefit managers, and those contracts are not standardized. The price you see is not a fixed market rate. It is one pharmacy's particular arrangement on that particular day. Smart seniors call 3 or 4 pharmacies before filling anything new. Ask for the cash price by name and write the numbers down. The savings on a single 90-day supply can pay for a month of groceries. Costco's pharmacy, for example, is open to non-members in every state by federal law, and a generic statin like atorvastatin can run under $5 there for a 90-day supply, while the same prescription at a major chain has been reported at $60 or more. Then there is the discount card question, and this one trips up almost everyone. Cards from services like GoodRx, SingleCare, and similar platforms often beat insurance copays, particularly for generic medications. The catch is that you usually cannot stack a discount card on top of insurance in the same transaction. You have to choose. Smart seniors ask the pharmacist to run it both ways, with insurance and with the card, and pick whichever total comes out lower. Pharmacists are allowed to share this information, but a federal rule from a few years back finally made it explicit that they cannot be gagged from telling you. The Know the Lowest Price Act of 2018, signed that October, banned those gag clauses outright for Medicare and Medicare Advantage enrollees. Many customers still do not realize they can simply ask. Generic substitution is the next layer, and it remains one of the most reliable ways to cut a bill in half or better. Generics contain the same active ingredient as their brand name counterparts and must meet the same federal standards for safety and effectiveness. The differences tend to be in inactive ingredients, coloring, or shape, none of which affect how the medication works for the vast majority of patients. Yet some doctors still default to writing brand names out of habit. Smart seniors ask at every appointment whether a generic version exists for each prescription. If one does, they request it specifically. For long-standing medications, they also ask whether a therapeutic alternative, a different drug in the same class, might work just as well at a fraction of the cost. Switching from brand name Crestor to generic rosuvastatin, or from Nexium to generic omeprazole, has saved patients hundreds of dollars per year with no clinical difference noted by the FDA. Drop a comment and let us know where you are watching from and whether your local pharmacy has surprised you with a better price than you expected. We read every reply. Mail order and 90-day supplies deserve their own category because the math here is almost always favorable. Most Medicare Part D plans and many private insurers offer significantly lower per pill pricing when you fill a 90-day supply instead of 3 separate 30-day refills. The convenience is real, but the financial gap is larger than most people assume. For medications you have been taking for years and expect to keep taking, the 90-day route usually wins. Smart seniors review their stable, long-term prescriptions once a year and convert every eligible one to the longer fill. They also compare their plan's preferred mail order pharmacy against the retail price at their local store, because occasionally the retail option with a discount card still comes out ahead. Manufacturer assistance programs are perhaps the most underused tool of all. Nearly every major drug manufacturer runs some form of patient assistance program for people who meet certain income guidelines, and many of these programs are surprisingly generous, sometimes providing brand name medications free of charge for those who qualify. The applications can feel intimidating, but social workers at hospitals, pharmacists, and nonprofit organizations like Needy Meds and the Partnership for Prescription Assistance can walk you through the process. Smart seniors do not assume they earn too much to qualify. The income thresholds are often higher than people expect, especially for expensive specialty medications, and the application is usually free. Eliquis and Xarelto, 2 common blood thinners that can run over $500 a month at retail, have manufacturer programs that frequently cover households earning up to 4 times the federal poverty level, which works out to roughly $60,000 a year for a single person. Medicare's Extra Help program, sometimes called the Low Income Subsidy, is another layer worth investigating. It helps cover Part D premiums, deductibles, and co-pays for beneficiaries whose income and resources fall below certain limits. The thresholds were expanded recently, bringing in more people than before, and many who would now qualify never reapply because they were turned down years ago under the older rules. Smart seniors recheck their eligibility every year or two, especially after any change in financial circumstances. The Social Security Administration handles the application, and it can be completed by phone, by mail, or online. As of 2024, the Inflation Reduction Act extended full extra help benefits to anyone earning up to 150% of the federal poverty line, and roughly 3 million additional seniors became newly eligible under those rules. Do not overlook the annual Medicare open enrollment period, which runs each fall. This is the window when you can change Part D plans, and it matters more than most beneficiaries realize. Drug formularies change every year. The medication your plan covered cheaply in January might land in a higher tier the following year, while a competing plan now covers it for almost nothing. Smart seniors plug their current prescription list into the Medicare Plan Finder tool each October, compare the projected annual costs across available plans, and switch if a better fit appears. Sticking with the same plan out of habit is one of the most expensive decisions a Medicare beneficiary can make. Open enrollment runs from October 15 through December 7, and changes take effect January 1st. Finally, there is the conversation that almost no one has, which is the conversation with the prescribing doctor about cost. Many physicians genuinely do not know what their patients pay at the counter. They write what they were trained to write, what the drug representatives have recently discussed, or what the electronic health record suggests first. When a patient says clearly, "This medication costs me $140 a month and I am struggling to afford it," most doctors will look for alternatives. There may be an older medication in the same class that works nearly as well for a small fraction of the price. There may be a different dosing strategy. There may be a sample supply to bridge a gap. Smart seniors treat their doctor as a partner in managing cost, not just a writer of prescriptions, and they are direct about what they can and cannot afford. The common thread across all of these strategies is simple. The system does not volunteer savings. It rewards the people who ask questions, compare options, and keep asking year after year. Paying full price is not a sign of doing things correctly. It is usually a sign that nobody told you there was another way. Smart seniors know there almost always is.